snacks. What it do, snackers, snackettes, and snack X's? It's your boy Gage. I'm here with jokes. I'm here with Sin.
Yes, sir.
You are now tuned in to Loading Snacks Weekly, where we get together once a week and we talk about all the things that are happening in pop culture. And today,
do
it again with your other eye closed. Let me just see. No, that's the same eye. Like
I thought about it afterwards.
Hey, can you not wink? Can you not wink with your other eye? No, I just want.
No, I can wink both ways.
Oh, okay, you can raise both eyebrows. That's what I see. Okay, Sin, can you raise both your eyebrows?
I mean, like that?
No, dog. Individually, bro.
Oh, I don't think I've ever tried to do that. Like, I don't think I've ever tried.
You're not getting ready to tell me that as much as you was on the rock,
you didn't try to do the damn eyebrow.
You ain't never tried to raise a single eyebrow, yeah.
I don't think I can do it.
Okay, that's not the point. That's not the point.
I'm pretty sure I've tried it.
Okay, now you're pretty sure you have tried it. A second ago, you was pretty sure you have never tried it. You know what? There it is. Sip tea, bro. It's fine. What's up, Alfonso? What's up, Doctor Who? J. Robert Deans, I'm glad you have a backup laptop because that is an amazing thing. Today, we're going to talk about Top Gun and a bunch of other stuff. But I want to start with Top Gun. Heather, what's up? Now, have either of you seen Top Gun Maverick?
I have not.
Okay. Do either of you plan to see Top Gun Maverick in the theater?
No.
I kind of do. Just because of IMAX.
So, oh, just because of IMAX? Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Why?
I feel like a movie because one, we know the way it was shot, everything is pretty much, it's real. Like nothing was really like CG or anything like that. So I feel like seeing that on a big screen like IMAX is going to be something worthwhile to actually see.
I mean, it'd be like watching a documentary, I suppose, in IMAX, which is not a bad thing to see. I would give you that. Sin, why don't you have any plans to see this in the theater?
I just have no desire to see it in the theater. I'll watch it when it comes on, but I don't need the theater experience for it.
All right. Jokes, have you ever seen the original Top Gun?
Yes.
Okay. What do you remember about it? Do you remember it being good?
It was okay. Like it was nothing, super over the top. It was a solid story. It was okay.
Let's take a break for a moment. Kidlet, what up? Finals are important. Thanks for checking in. We doing okay? Are you doing okay?
Yeah,
we don't have finals.
Nah,
we have awesome fun.
I'm done with those.
We don't have finals. Yeah, we hope you're okay. Oh boy!
Man, my man just got.
Cat just changed his mind on you, buddy.
It's like he's in a whole different room now.
Just automatic timer. That bulb was in. It was supposed to be in a different room. I had to switch it, and I didn't change the timer setting on it. So fixed that for that.
Okay, so you remember Top Gun, sort of. How long has it been since the last time you saw Top Gun?
A few years now.
Okay. A few years. I don't know what that means. What's a few years? 10 years?
No, like 2-3 years, somewhere around the ballpark. Like it came on TV one day, and I just said, you know what? Let's just run it through. It was like, I would say it was like a quarter of the way in when I picked it up from it, but it was just like, let's just watch it.
Okay.
Sin has his moves on auto timer.
Yes, he has his moves on auto timer. Don't worry about why at 8:30 all the lights go on, bright as I don't know what. Don't worry about why. Sam, it's business law, so you just need to write your ass off, make it sound fancy. No, make it sound right.
Yeah.
Business law is fancy, but it is important.
There's some details in there.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Long enough for producers to think Kelly McGillis wasn't attractive enough for Tom anymore. Not cool, Paramount, not cool. I don't know, man. Have you seen Kelly McGillis? I haven't. And maybe she didn't make the cut. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. I know we talked about Tom Cruise a lot last week, so we're
Yeah.
not gonna like overdo it.
Overdo it.
However, during last week's show, I believe in some roundabout way, we came to the conclusion that Tom Cruise might just be the best action star.
Yeah,
At
we did.
least in the US. We didn't say
Mhm.
that, but I've been thinking about it. And I've been thinking about some of the things I've seen that I know most American audiences do not see. There are some folks I cannot put that man above. I just cannot.
Mhm.
But look, Top Gun pulled in like $160.5 million over the holiday
Nice.
weekend,
Solid.
which
Nice.
is cool. There's two things about that. One, it's a holiday weekend.
Yep.
We never
True.
really seem to calculate into these kinds of things when something comes out and it's a holiday weekend, how much of a bigger deal that is for movie theaters than it is on a regular weekend. Obviously, it's a strategic play for somebody like Paramount, for
Mhm.
the company that is producing the film. Um, it might have been different if it wasn't a holiday weekend,
Mhm.
but even if you take that out, this is Tom Cruise's highest grossing opening weekend ever.
Mm.
Ever. His next closest film is War of the Worlds, and that opened at like 64 million.
Wow.
Woo, God.
That is a big
Yeah.
jump.
Yeah. So then I started thinking, maybe I missed something. Tom Cruise might not be the best action star, because I know that seems really low.
It does.
That's a massive difference there. Good. Like,
Yeah.
You right. Cuddy S his first hundo. Um I don't like him. I probably agree. I need to head out. Take care. Deuces. We can talk about it another time. Um yeah, I don't so talk to me about why. Is it now let's I mean here's where I am. Let's take a couple things into consideration. As I said, it's a holiday weekend.
mhm.
So
Mhm.
that
Definitely a
generally
little bit
bodes well
extra.
for new movies. People are eager to get back out and go to the theaters again.
Yeah.
But I think that there's a high argument for the idea of having a movie that is super America like Top Gun come out on Memorial Day weekend.
Mhm.
A US military based film come out on Memorial Day weekend.
I can get behind that too.
Mhm.
I also think
Good
it's
placement.
I also think it's Top Gun itself. Like we've been hearing about Top Gun 2 coming out for the longest of times. And
Sure.
Top Gun is an American classic, you know what I mean? Loved by a lot of people.
Mhm.
So with it finally coming out and getting such praises and such high reviews from a lot of people, like I just think, a lot of people just looking forward to it. And to get something different besides, I would say like a superhero movie, which we get a lot of, something different.
True.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have an argument against that. I think that a lot of the action movies that we get tend to be very cookie cutter. They're all Taken and The Bourne Identity mashed in some way. Like
Mhm.
they're all that most of the time now. So I can certainly see that there is probably some level of like, all right, I'll take something different that we've had before. You know what I mean? Something old,
Mhm.
old school. Um, I don't know, man. It's hard for me to really quantify it. I definitely think that Memorial Day and Top Gun have something to do
Help.
with it.
I think that definitely
I
helped.
definitely think that America as a country is in a really, really bad place, and people just needed something to feel good about for what the country
Mhm.
is, no matter how you slice it. Cuddy says, isn't comparing old movie box numbers similar to the difference in how salaries of the stars have jumped in years? Um, I mean, it is, but we're talking about, like, even with inflation, that movie doesn't come close to what it would be, especially considering we're still, again, we're coming out of, and I'm super air quoting this, out of the pandemic. Yeah, Anthony said the price of it has a lot to do with, the price of movie tickets, I guess is what you mean by that, has a lot to do with it. Yeah, sure. I mean, again, that's why you do have to adjust for inflation, for sure.
Yeah.
But we don't. You could adjust for inflation. People don't care.
Not at all.
Like when they compare how much money Avatar made versus
that's what I was gonna bring up. Yeah, because Avatar grossed ridiculous amount of money, even though they had to release that junk like 3 times, I think, in all of it.
And they're doing it like one more time before the second one comes out. Releasing it.
Yeah, I mean, because the amount of money that it costs to go to the movies now compared to what it used to cost to go to the movies, people went to the movies more than once. Like, for real. Like, if it was a big movie, part of the reason why those movies make so much money is because people go more than once. And there are people who are willing to go more than once. There is also something to be said for the fact that now, like, Fantastic Beasts came out yesterday on HBO Max. 45 days.
Oh,
that's
it did?
it.
Oh, damn. Oh, damn.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So Doctor Strange will be out the middle of this month in like another 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Give or take. You also don't necessarily have to pay that money. Like, people are willing. They could wait a month. It was a lot of people. You have to understand that even back then, with the price of tickets being lower than they are now, there were always people who were willing to wait until the joint hit the dollar theater. Until it, you know what I mean? I'll wait, I'll go to a matinee and we'll go at, such and such time. Like, there was a ton of that. So, like, all of it gets offset. You know what I mean? Somewhere in there. I just really think that it's interesting at all that this is Tom Cruise's highest grossing movie. And I that's just the thing that's interesting to me. I think that there are some people who I'm gonna try not to make it seem like, whatever. I like conspiracy theories. It's a lot of people who I think are behind the fact that Tom Cruise literally got up and said, I make movies for the theater. And I think that there are people, whatever positions they're in, I don't know if y'all saw, but AMC's stock price skyrocketed. Like, they're literally like, AMC is back, y'all, because of Tom Cruise. That doesn't even make sense. That doesn't even make sense. But their stock did skyrocket.
Yeah.
Right? So I honestly do believe there are some other things at play that have something to do with this.
Because that is a massive jump between that and War of the Worlds. That's still just a massive leap.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think he's got tons of movies that are better than War of the Worlds. War of the Worlds also is Spielberg. Am I tripping? That's Spielberg, isn't it?
It's fine.
Okay, look at y'all getting googly. Hey, Sin, you Google it. Jokes, you Bing it. Let's see how it comes out.
Oh, of course I'm Binging it. That's my default. That's my default engine right there.
My man,
Google.
Steven Spielberg.
Yep.
Yeah, it was Steven Spielberg. That's what I thought. J. Robert Dean said, if AMC is going to stand on anyone's shoulders, they need to find someone taller than 5 feet. I'm going to disagree.
That's cool.
If it's going to bring them in the kind of money that this movie brought in.
Must say, don't matter. Tom Cruise may be 5 feet, but with that money underneath of him, he like 200 feet tall.
I haven't looked into it, but there could be, I'm sure, in some way, it could be that this movie in 45 days only goes to Paramount Plus and doesn't hit other streaming services right away.
I'm pretty sure it actually is. If I remember right, it's supposed to hit in 2 weeks, I think, to Paramount Plus. I'm pretty sure. Hold on.
Yeah, let's check that, because that's another thing that's weird. And that also means to me there's some other things at play.
That's really quick.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
That's a very quick turnaround. If that's the case.
Yeah, if it's 2 weeks, that's a little strange. Nah, don't look that up. Don't worry about that, man. We don't care what he does with that money as long as he's not giving it to people to go get guns to go shoot up schools. You can give it to whatever church you choose is the church you choose. That don't make me never mind. Church. as you say, church,
Right.
as you say. Jokes, while you're looking into that and seeing if you can find that out, I'm gonna see if you can multitask.
Let's go for it.
Uh-oh.
It says expected hit in July. So no. So it is that would put it right about the 45 days.
Yeah.
So no.
Okay.
45 days.
So
Yeah.
I'll be watching in July.
But it is supposed to be going straight to Paramount Plus, right?
Plus. Mm-hmm.
Right. So
is it coming on the 4th of July?
I doubt it.
But that would be
that wouldn't be 45 days.
Hmm.
Yeah, I doubt it. But if it did and they were selling it, America.
Yeah. America.
Hey, Jokes.
Yo.
It's not often I bring up The Rock on a show, but I've already done it once today.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't we just do it again?
Just do it again.
Why don't we just do it again? J. Robert Dean said that I agree. Did you see the story about the man in Texas giving caskets to the families and he talked to each family and customizing? Yeah, I saw
that.
Superman, Avengers, one of them dancing, doing TikToks. Yeah, I think that's incredible. I think that's awesome. Like, we have enough tragedy, so anything we can do that helps to offset some of that. You know what I mean? And shows that there are still some people in the world who have some good in their hearts. More than that, in their hearts is an awesome thing. Yeah, Jokes. Talk to me about The Rock.
So the reason why The Rock's name came up, so his daughter, Simone Johnson, of course, is signed to NXT under the WWE brand, and she hasn't made her debut on TV or anything just yet, but she finally has unveiled what she's going to go as while she's at least in NXT. She's going to go by Ava Rain. So a lot of people are up in arms because it's like, why are you not using your father's name? Why are you not using Johnson? Like, this is a sham or whatnot. I'm just like, pump the brakes. Like, it's like, I get it. She's the daughter of The Rock. That's a big name to live up to. But I'd rather her go this way because you know what? She wants to try to make a name for herself first. Now, don't get me wrong. At some point down the road, they're going to fully acknowledge the fact that she is the daughter of The Rock. I mean, it's happened with any of the others, like Charlotte Flair. When she first
that's
came
exactly what they were saying on Twitter. J. Robert Deans and people were calling for people to lay off the dad jokes a little bit, but that was perfect for you. Like, Twitter was literally like,
I thought you were going to be right back, and you come chiming in right.
Oh, he did but he couldn't resist. I mean,
couldn't do it.
It was too easy. It was too easy.
So yeah, so everybody's just up in arms about this. Like I get the name. So there's two sides of it, because people are up in arms where some of these wrestlers have changed their name like while they're in stride already, like mainstream.
Right.
A good comparison. Was a guy named Walter who was in NXT UK, dominated the whole entire time. When they finally decided to move him from the UK brand and bring him over to the American NXT and then eventually move up to the main WWE roster, they changed his name to Gunther. So, everybody's like...
Yeah, that's hideous.
So, that one...
There's some people whose name is Gunther, dog. Gunther. Like,
it's a real name. But, a lot of people were up and all like, why? This dude's he's super established. He's been destroying folks as Walter. Why do you change his name? Now, I understand the reason why they wanted to change the name from Walter to Gunther, just because they want to be able to trademark and use my man's name and stuff with the company. Like, I get those sort of things that they do. But in this case, with Ava, like, I think that is a good choice to go in and to use your own name and try to establish yourself. Like, I think it's perfectly fine, and I don't see anything wrong with it.
Let me just... So Cuddy says she's no Charlotte, and it's impossible to live up to The Rock's legacy. Is that true?
Hey, there's no way for us to know. Now, The Rock...
Is it true that she's no Charlotte? Because again, she's in NXT. And she's young. She's like 18, right?
Yeah, she's young.
Yeah, she's just starting.
She's starting. Granted, she's been around the business. She's been around the business her whole life, so she knows some things. But obviously, you can't just. This is not something that you're just going to jump in and you're just going to be ready to go, guns blazing for it. Sure. So I think yes, she had. If she's going to follow in her father's footsteps, you know what? Those are some big shoes to fill. But I think she's going to be able to do it. I think she's going to be able to do it in her own way, and it's not like she's going to be able to say, "Oh, I'm going to go for the WWE Championship." The Women's Championship is the highest that you're going to be able to get, but it depends on what you bring to the table.
She's 18, right? So here's what I'll say, because I'm like Cuddy's saying, it's like Jordan's kid that played ball and never went to the NBA. There's a couple things about that. One, Jordan is the greatest of all time. There's no argument for that. Mm-hmm. People argue it, but it's not really an argument. And you know why? Because people are still asking if Jordan is the greatest of all time, and they're comparing him to people now, which means he's the greatest of all time. That's why you're still comparing people to him.
It will never stop. This is going to be it.
The Rock is not arguably one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, but it is definitely arguable whether or not he is the greatest of all time. Mm-hmm. Period. We could go up and down about who's people's are favorites or whatever, but like, I'm gonna tell you Triple H. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you Ric Flair, and Rock is one of my favorites. But there's plenty of people who will tell you Stone Cold. Is it difficult to live up to that legacy? Sure. Does it match Jordan's legacy? No. Mm-hmm. And the fact that he has a daughter and not a son, I think makes it more possible for her to live up to that legacy, because I think the expectations are very different. Mm-hmm. Like if for The Rock to come in behind Rocky Maivia, and have to live up to that legacy is different from her having to come behind her father for the same reason that Joke said. It's not, she quote unquote can't go for the actual WWF championship. Women's championship is the best she can do as of right now, but she's 18. 10 years from now,
who knows what playing field will be on.
And when you look at what's happening just outside of the WWE, with what's happening with see, y'all making me start. It's starting to sound like I care about wrestling. But here's the thing: if you look at what's happening, I do. I pay attention to a lot of things. If you look at what's happening across multiple promotions, cross promotional activities, what is happening with those belts that are moving from one promotion to the other. Mm-hmm. That kind of stuff is completely unheard of. It's the kind of things that WCW and WWF would never have done.
Never.
Right? Like, I was reading an article about Taz's son. Don't ask me why I was reading an article about Taz's son the other day. But I was reading an article about Taz's son. I was like, Taz was jive like a bop. Nobody cares, though. Nobody talks about him. Nobody,
Human like, it's suplex machine.
He's not in your main. But Taz was the thing. ECW was incredible.
Oh, yes.
And it was doing something different. What could happen between now, the day that we're talking about this, as the day that she like signed the contract and is going in and whatever? Bro, they could definitely do a championship that is for whomever.
Intergender, yeah, because like they do intergender matches now. Like in the past, you saw them sprinkled in every now and then. Right. But for now, the way that they do,
Lita jumping into something because the Hardy was in the middle of something. That's
exactly right now. The way they do it, if they do an intergender match, if the woman tags in, the other woman automatically has to get in. There is no, at least in the WWE. But if you go to some of these promotions outside of it, that's not the case at all.
Right.
I think that the growth of other promotions, access to the visibility of other promotions, even for something that's as old as New Japan, the internet's made everything different. And I think that the WWE has to continue to evolve in order to be able to keep up with what people want and want to see. That's why I say she's no Charlotte. Most titles, like good for her being in development, but there's a long road, and I just don't see it. And you know, and that's cool. I can tell you right now, I've never seen the child wrestle. I didn't even know this dude had a daughter. Like, I don't care. I care, but I don't care. I'm just saying that, like, there's, Charlotte Flair only means something to me because
Ric Flair.
Rick, yeah. I think that if she like really wants to pursue this and do it, I think she will be a superstar down the future. Mm-hmm. She has such a long family lineage, you know what I'm saying, that have been doing this forever and all have been big at it. You know what I mean? So from Rock, like you said, to Maverick to Roman Reigns, you know what I'm saying, running things in there now. Like, I think that if this is something that she wants to do, she will definitely be a superstar and make a name for herself. I'm positive.
Yeah, and I think I actually do think that it's smarter for her not to use that name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think you're right, Jokes. I think that using that name would make it more like. Here's the thing: everybody already knows who she is.
Mm-hmm.
There's a small group of people who probably don't, who would just see her and see her wrestling and be like, "Oh, she fired," because she has the potential to take the name that she's using and make that a thing instead of people just being behind her or just following her because she's, the Rock's daughter. You know what I mean? People in line just waiting for her / expecting her to fail because it's impossible for her to live up to that legacy, right? So that's actually more difficult because people have both. There are people who have high expectations because of the legacy that's in front of her.
Mm-hmm.
And people who have such low expectations because of the legacy in front of her, that it's like you just got to go in and carve out your own space.
That's it.
So I do think it makes more sense for her to go and just be like, this is the name I'm using because this is who I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And like we said, who knows what happen 10 years from now? You know what I mean? If she's still out there doing it, she might want to switch up and start using her real name or whatever. Like,
you know what they could
Rock didn't always go just by The Rock. Like, he used a lot of other names.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep, Rocky. He was like at one point, like it was just Rocky John. Like he used his father's name and his grandfather's name, and that's how he came up with Rocky Maivia when he first showed up in the thing.
Mm-hmm.
He said he hated it. It was like he wanted he wanted to give that honor to the guys that came before him, and then he just took it and he just rolled with it because it wasn't until he hit the Nation of Domination when he did hit that switch, it was a whole nother character.
Mm-hmm.
Owned it.
Yeah, dog. That corporate champ, people's champ, run you like he. Yeah, I mean, I will tell you this. I'll tell you this. Even if she doesn't have an eighth of the skill that he has, if she got 9/10 of his mouth,
she got that charisma. It's over.
It's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem. That's one of the reasons why Ric Flair is my favorite. My man just had it's all mouth. It was all he just be.
Some things you can learn. Some things you can learn, but then there's some things that like you have to have it.
Yep.
And that's one of them.
Yeah.
That's one of them.
And also like I said, having the access to that legacy in your family, you know what I'm saying? You can reach out to people, talk to them, train with them. Like you have she's gonna be good.
Like I'll use an example. Like let's say we go the 10-year route. Let's say somehow the bloodline that is currently, like you said, Sin, Roman Reigns, the Usos, that's currently wrecking havoc. 10 years from now, she could start her own variation of that if the bloodline per se is not around.
Yeah.
And she may not necessarily have to be the greatest wrestler, but she could have the mouth. Or then it could be the vice versa. I would say she is an excellent wrestler and may not necessarily have the mic skills. But when you put the whole family together, because we know the Samoan side, like this is a lineage thing.
Yeah.
Like they're not going away, and they run in all promotions. And someday I would love to see like the bloodline be able to be a stable that goes between all the different promotions. They've done it. On the other side, Rikishi, when he left the company, he took a whole group of the family and started going to different promotions and was just owning everything with it for it.
I mean, look.
Yeah.
I had enough talking about wrestling for the day, but
one other wrestling. Look, great. Before we move on, though, hold on, no, because I gotta call out.
Go ahead.
Hey, Marcus ain't in the chat, but when we did our prediction, we did our prediction show for Double or Nothing, and we made a wager. And Sin, you heard on there that the loser was gonna have to buy the other person the next AEW pay-per-view. Well, Marcus lost. Now, granted, it was a small margin, but Marcus lost. And maybe that's why he's not in the chat today.
He probably in the chat. He probably lurking.
Probably.
Probably hoping that wasn't gonna bring that
being
up.
quiet. It's the first time in like a month and a half I haven't seen beats and beatdowns pop up. Like it's like
come out of hiding,
straight up.
Marcus. Come on. But yeah, he lost, so he's got to buy me the next AEW paper.
You should have made him buy you the finisher shirt since he had one and you didn't.
That's true. My man,
That's what you should have did. Need some merch. By the way, y'all, we got merch.
We got merch.
Just so y'all know, you know what I mean. If you want to get a little fly, you know what I'm saying. If you do like wrestling and you want to participate, feel free. You know what I mean. Feel free to jump in, participate. We're gonna talk about Obi-Wan for a moment of 5.
Okay.
No spoilers, but I do want you to know that Spoiler Boys did go live yesterday. Jokes, I'm getting ready to fry you because you didn't let me know once you had to join up, so I could grab the audio, so I could put the audio version out. And you know what? And we'll talk about that later. But you know what I mean. But I had to let you have it right here, right now. So yeah. So we're not gonna ruin Obi-Wan for anybody who hasn't seen it. Episode 3 does come out tomorrow. I want you to know that. What I want to talk about is what's going on today, which is Twitter was ablaze with Obi-Wan. And you would think, oh, okay, people watch Obi-Wan. No, that's not what it is. People are responding to the fact that the third sister.
Oh, look.
Oh,
hey, look.
I told you.
The One Piece super fan.
I told you
he heard the whole thing.
I told you he was lurking.
So you're just trying to cancel it out? Is that what you're saying? Because you can't buy me Hell in the Cell.
He said double down. What is that supposed to mean? Double or
nothing? It don't mean nothing. I have
just
Peacock.
Double or nothing.
I have Peacock. What, you gonna pay me $5 so you can watch Peacock? No.
I don't like it at all. Yeah. So Moses Ingram, who plays the third sister, Reva, has been receiving a lot. And I mean a lot of racist tweets and DMs and so forth. So she posted this to her Twitter, and this was just part of it. Your days are numbered. Straight up, just death threat. Your days are numbered. Hey, yo, Kenobi, you ain't finna run forever, white boy. Get back here. Third sister, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You suck, loser. You've now been converted into the St. George of Floydium of Star Wars. Are you happy? How the F does an alien know Ebonics, which isn't a thing, but okay. You're a diversity hire, and you won't be loved or remembered for this acting role. And like her post was literally like, there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these, like that are just like have flooded her timeline. So, thankfully, Star Wars decided to back her.
They came.
So they tweeted, "We are proud to welcome Moses Ingram to the Star Wars family and excited for Reva's story to unfold. If anyone intends to make her feel in any way unwelcome, we have only one thing to say: we resist." And they followed that with this: there are more than 20 million sentient species in the Star Wars galaxy. Don't choose to be a racist. I don't know if you know this, but racism runs rampant in the Star Wars community.
Oh yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
It's rampant with your R, like it's rampant. Just rampant with the beats and beatdowns.
You asked for it.
Yeah. Look, I won't go into spoiler territory. I'll tell y'all that I did say I don't really like the character, but I feel like I'm not supposed to, and so I think that's a good thing.
That's the right thing.
Look, we are probably going to continue to see this kind of thing, racism in the fandom. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like we're probably going to continue to see this happen over and over and over again. Yep. It almost scares me. Here's the thing that bothers me the most about this. I feel like her character is not going to survive the series. And it scares me what people will be saying then.
If that were to happen.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's just, it's so, it's just the kind of stuff, it's just like, you would just think like you can't have anything. You just can't do anything.
Nope.
With you know what I mean, without people just feeling like I don't understand how you can feel like something like that was ruined for you. You understand what I'm saying? Like I just don't.
Yeah.
And there are Asian people like who are like right next to her in scenes, not receiving anywhere
Anything.
near this same kind of rhetoric. It's kind of crazy.
It's disgusting.
It
Like I
is.
said, it's a universe that's chock full of millions of aliens and humans of all different races. Like what? Like it makes no sense for this even to exist in a show like this. Like it's absolutely pointless.
Yeah, I mean, J. Robert Dean says it's not surprising given the whole franchise is based around the adventures of a blonde boy saving the universe, which, sure, but he doesn't. So I don't, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't work out. You know what I mean? I don't, it doesn't work out. It just, that's not what happens. So like, I can maybe see if it did work out, but it didn't. So you know, yeah, look, there were a lot of people on Twitter who were calling for people to just tweet at her or DM her with positive things.
Right, the opposite.
Well, I brought this up just to recommend that if you're on Twitter, if you do use it at all, to go and follow Moses Ingram if she hasn't shut her Twitter down
right
at this point, which is possible. It was up earlier, but just go give some positivity. You know what I mean? Send some positive feedback. Back out into the world. That's the only way to
it's the only way to be.
Fight the negativity is you gotta, you know.
You need to treat people the way that you want to be treated, and it's like you wouldn't want if this was someone in your own family and they were receiving threats like this, you would think you probably would be up in arms, but this is just absolutely disgusting. It's one of those things that no matter how much time has passed, we see this every other type of show that we end up watching. And obviously Star Wars has been around for decades. And you would think after being on a decade long run, this would be something that you wouldn't have to see and have to worry about. But it just shows you the level of how people still are in this world. Like that you just find the pleasure in going online, Twitter, keyboard warriors, as we'll always call them as well too. Like you'll go online and you just find the need to try to find a way to bring someone down for any type of reason. And then of course this reason is just like, just straight up being racist. Like I'm just happy that Star Wars themselves took the stance to say something against anybody, which is a big bold thing. And you know what? The next thing people are gonna be like, well, you know what? I'm boycotting your product because you're doing this. You know what? I hope you do. Like I hope those people do, because you know what? We don't need people like you within these circles. You can see your way out and find something else. You know what? Make something for yourself, but we want no parts of you.
The problem is people have been making things for them for so long that the idea of having something that doesn't feel like it's made for them, right?
Which is the longest running franchise.
One character, a Black Inquisitor, and y'all are up in arms about this. Like,
I mean, look, here's the thing: you have to remember that there are so many people who don't root for the good guy. It's a normal thing. There are plenty of people who prefer the Sith to the Jedi. They chose a side, right? So you also have to imagine that in a lot of ways in real life, like there are people who just like Sin doesn't like characters that are like the good old boy, follow the rules and do what, you know what I'm saying? He chooses to go by Sin. So, okay. Like, so what kind of behavior would you expect out of somebody who chooses You know what I'm saying? The side that is quote unquote not the good side, right? So you can't necessarily say, we made her. She's even evil, right? There's a good chance that she's not even going to survive the, you know what I mean, the series or whatever, right? You can't, because for a lot of people, they're like, yeah, but I like the Sith. I like the Inquisitors. I want to see the Inquisitors destroy Obi-Wan. Like, clearly, that's not what happens, because like if you're actually a fan,
yeah,
right?
he's still around.
4, 5, and 6, at least for another movie. Wink, wink.
But let's be real. People panning for Vader. People panning for Kylo. People panning for Darth Maul. People like. That's not to say they're not cool characters. You understand what I'm saying? But that's the world we live in. That they're just people who prefer that. That doesn't make everybody who likes that kind of a thing bad. But like, there are certain people who, like, when those seeds are sown, it's like if you don't give them. There's a certain level of ownership that I feel like people think they have over things that they like, but they didn't create. Right? We talk about gatekeeping a lot.
Yeah.
So we don't want you in here. We don't want y'all to have it. Like, it's literally like I can hear them looking at each other and saying something like, see, this is why we can't have nice things. You understand what I'm saying? Like, because they want to keep, that idea. You know what, J. Robert Dean? I don't know. Racists aren't racist in their own minds. I don't know if I agree with that. I think that there are plenty of people who are racist and know it. And that is part of the point. That is the choice.
And they wear it on their sleeve like a badge of honor.
They have there are people who have chosen. I have chosen a race. It is the one I belong to.
See it on social media all the time.
All the time. It's like, I mean, but you see it everywhere all the time. Like, it's not
called
like
the 4K.
It's everywhere. But I just it seems like / feels like things like these, because these are just things that we enjoy, right, are the places where you shouldn't or wouldn't really expect it. But ask any black cosplayer what they experience when they choose a character, right? They'll tell you it's rampant. Like, it's it's a thing.
Kanata isn't black.
I was gonna say, that's the one. Oh, you're playing the black, like Sam Wilson's Captain America, but it's like, oh, you're playing the black Captain America. It's just like,
well, I mean, but it's also
you get what I'm saying.
Like,
you get what I'm
no. I completely understand what you're saying. In reference to what Sin said, Hanada isn't black. Hanada isn't white.
Right. She's very Japanese.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's like there are always these very strange kind of double standards and stuff like that. Like, it's crazy. Dean said, yeah, that's not exactly what I meant. They absolutely hate other races, but they don't believe themselves as racist. They feel themselves simply right. Sure. I don't like. There you go, Helen. She gonna be black today. Yeah, we do need more than 200 characters, so you can say what you really want to say.
Just fire off.
Here's what you know what, because we could do this all night.
Yep.
But realistically, what I think is, the diversification of main characters, not even necessarily lead characters, but main characters, in stories and in major franchises, like we are beginning to see, like we will see on June 8th when Ms. Marvel comes out, right? Where I have already read articles with people who have had the opportunity to see several episodes already and had them speak about how it touched them, how Muslim it felt, how it felt like home for them. That there are things that are in there that are said and that are talked about and that are used that, like, may not quite hit for other people, but if you grew up in like a Muslim household or whatever, like it's going to be a thing. there are going to be people who are just outright like not going to watch it, and that's fine. There are people who are going to watch it just so that they can be evil or angry or mean about it. There are people who will tell you. There are people who will go in forums for a thing they tell you they don't like just so they can tell you how dumb you are for liking the thing. It's like, well, why are you here though?
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So the fact that people will go out of their way to try to make you feel bad about something you're doing, something you've done, something you enjoy, people who will go to a thing that they claim they don't enjoy in order to ruin it for other people.
Mm-hmm.
It is, in fact, bigger than racism. It's just people are terrible a lot of the time. They just are. It doesn't matter. It could be, we're going to talk about Xbox in a little while. It could be that. Like, there are people who are just like, you PlayStation fanboys, blah, blah. You Xbox fanboys, blah. But why are you here though? Like
stay over there. Go ahead, play your PlayStation. I have no problem.
Their tweets. Why do you?
They were going to Xbox page and just PCs. I don't know why you play consoles. They're stupid. PCs where it's at. Dude, why are you here? That's Xbox forum.
Exactly.
But here's the thing: the Xbox is a PC. So why are you ragging on it? Technically, still,
we don't care.
Yeah, it's just but listen. But there always are people who do, and there will always be people who respond. And because they get a response, like that's what they
keep going,
right? That's why they do it. That's what they're looking for. They're trying to get a rise out of you. They're trying to make you angry. They know that when people are angry, they say things or do things. They make mistakes. That's what they're pushing for. And it is the same with a lot of this. If we were to go into a full-on intellectual conversation about racism, I have things to say that would probably make a lot of people upset, but would probably mostly be right. We'll save it for another conversation. We'll do that on a different show. Let me shout out Auditorium in the building, though.
I see him. Out there making them sales over the weekend.
Dr. Who says, I'm glad I haven't gotten to that noticeable level of cosplay that I got hate. Listen, that you got hate that they actually said
it. Yeah, let me say, it don't matter how popular you get. You know, someone will just see a character and just say, wait, such and such is not black, like, and have no idea who you are. They don't care.
Yeah, I mean,
not even a little bit.
I mean, look, the world is filled with bullies of all types, of all levels. They just it's a real thing. It's bullies and hypocrites, man. They two of the worst. They're two of the worst. If I could give any advice to anyone, I would tell them to steer clear of and do their best not to be either of those two things. Bullies and hypocrites. They the two worst. That's I won't even close the show with my normal thing today. Stay away from bullies and hypocrites. That's how we'll do that. Listen, we're gonna do something. Thanks, Stephen.
Appreciate that, man.
So check this out. We have to do something. Are you ready?
Sure.
Ready.
Let's do it. We're probably gonna get flagged.
Yeah, we are. I didn't watch this earlier. I know what this is. I didn't watch this.
Yeah, I know what it is, but I ain't watching it yet.
You really throwing it out there.
Pick that one off.
And that joint made a lot of money. So, I'm banging with Roberts and Mecca, that's for sure. And I likes me some Tom Hanks. That's also for sure.
Starlight, starlight. First star I see tonight. I wish I may. I wish I might have the wish I wish tonight.
You know I wanted to say something about Green Lantern's light, right?
That's why it sounded familiar.
Let's go.
Godmother Black is probably about to get out of here.
We were talking the right conversation just a second ago.
Terrence, streaming on Disney Plus.
Straight up. All right, let's do this. Sin.
Yo.
Have you seen the original Pinocchio? The animated?
Forever ago, yeah.
Okay. Jokes?
Forever ago. VHS forever ago.
Dig it. Yeah, J. Robert Deans, this might be Disney's creepiest film. Like, if there is any one movie that Disney has ever made that has the possibility of being made into the creepiest horror movie ever,
Pinocchio is the one.
Pinocchio is like
it's up there
at the top of that list, bro, somewhere. Look, I think this joint's gonna be great because it feels like. All right, let me do this.
I wanna be a real
the original Pinocchio is boring, bro. It's boring. The animation is incredible, but it's boring. All those old, not all of them, a lot of the old Disney animated features, as good as they are also super boring. Super boring. Bambi is super boring.
Oh gosh.
Super boring.
And traumatizing in the beginning.
Not just a horror film, but one for To Catch a Predator, no doubt. Marcus, do you want to be a real boy? Maybe if you win a bet against jokes, somebody will grant you that wish. You know what I'm saying? J. Robert D said, when an old white dude says, I want a real boy, warning.
Red flags.
When his puppet says, I am a real boy.
Oh.
No, I don't know.
Turn it.
Hey, look, the fact that they're going in, like, they're not trying to Mulan this joint, right? Like, we talked about this the other day, too.
Yeah.
So, like, Jiminy Cricket has to be in Pinocchio. It has to happen. So, like, if they are going more or less beat for beat and taking the story as it exists the way it was, I think this joint is a clear winner. I think this joint is going to be
probably the best out of the ones that's
incredible if you like Pinocchio. No, it doesn't bring new meaning to Buzz and Woody. Those things have always meant exactly what you're saying. Yeah, I don't I'm not excited about it though. Like at all. I'm not like, oh man, I have got to see Pinocchio. I'm not even like a little bit like, but I still think it's gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not positive who this is for. I'm gonna say it's for a new generation of young children who just. I don't think this is for. This is not for us. This is not for adults. Like, we saw Pinocchio. We didn't grow up on Pinocchio. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, our joints are Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid, Lion King, Aladdin,
Mulan, Hercules.
Hercules. Hey, Slim, let me tell you something about who put the flag in Gladiator, bro. I remember watching Hercules, sitting in that joint. I worked at the movie theater when that joint came out. Me and Brian Turner being in that joint like, hey, dog, you hear how black this joint is? Damn, that joint getting a gospel on, bro. Like, off the break. Like, that joint was sweet. Yeah. I don't know why they was singing so gospel in that Greek joint, but okay.
Hey.
Yes, J. Robert Deans. That is exactly what we're doing. If you grew up on Pinocchio, we are reminding you how much older you are.
Rescuers, I'm not mad at that.
Hey, listen.
I'm not mad at that at all.
Rescuers is clean. Rescuers Down Under is clean. Rescuers Down Under actually might be better than the original Rescuers, to be fair. I
don't think 5 Goes West wasn't. I don't think that was Disney.
Not Disney.
No, I didn't think that was.
That's
Disney.
not Disney, and we don't count 5 Goes West. We count American Tail. We don't count 5 Goes West.
Excuse me. Yes, an American Tail. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, listen, Heather. Why are you opening that bag? Why are you doing that? Like, it's J. Robert Deans. He hates everything and everyone. Yeah. Anybody who's great at what they do, J. Robert Deans hates them.
Hate it.
He just like, he don't like, I don't. He just, Who knows?
It's gonna scare me one day when he says, "Oh yeah, I love that." I feel like that's gonna scare me one of these days.
It is, as the kids say, fire. That is a great score. Yeah, I mean, look, Disney they have archives upon archives upon archives of their own stuff to pull from, but now they also have all of Fox's stuff. Like they have so much to pull from. That they can just keep doing it forever and redoing them forever. My man said I might have to watch Pinocchio because of it. Oh, so that's what you mean by unfortunately it's Hanks. You might actually have to watch it.
Let me know what you think about it when you see it.
I think Tom Hanks only has.
You might as well watch it, Sam.
I think he only has one bad movie. Straight up. I think Tom Hanks has one bad movie and that's it. I think everything else he's in is no less than a B. Straight up. And I'm surprised that you like Tom Hanks, J. Robert Deans, because
he don't like nothing else.
I was gonna say because I like Tom Hanks. And that just seems like them two things can't. You know what I mean? Like they don't cross pollinate. It's not supposed to happen. Do you think was this a good teaser? Is it a good teaser?
I think it was okay. I think like the Jiminy Cricket thing. I think that was one of those things that you needed to establish as being right, because a lot of people will end up just ripping that a new thing if like, oh yeah, Jiminy Cricket's not going to be in the movie. That's just like, keep it. Like
Correct.
There's certain elements you just cannot take out of it.
Hey, let me tell you something. Bosom Buddies is straight up fire. Bosom Buddies is hilarious. That Tom Hanks belonged in Bosom Buddies. Like Tom Hanks in drag, going to work. It's gold. It's
hey,
comedy
Leah.
gold. What's up, Leah? It's comedy gold. Yeah. Please don't. It was absolutely robbed of extra seasons. Yes. Like listen. I don't know what's happening right now. But J. Robert Deans and I are on the same page.
It's not going to last long.
It sounds like what you're trying to say is you're about to have a curveball. That's what it says.
Listen, it's way better than Tootsie. Tootsie wasn't even that good, and like that's no shade to Rain Man. No shade. Still, I think that Bosom Buddies made more sense because it was done like it's a show. Like it fits in that like it's so Three's Company. Like it just fits so perfectly in that realm. John Ritter should have played opposite Tom Hanks, and Bosom Buddies, I bet, gets another season. That's what I would say. And in the multiverse, that's probably what happened.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? Speaking of multiverses, have you ever seen Multiplicity, Sam?
Oh God, that's been a long time.
Have I? Let me look it up. I haven't seen the box. Remember, I've seen so much.
I've watched it with my mom. Like, hey, that's been a long time.
And let me tell you something. Multiplicity might be Michael Keaton's best. Might be Michael Keaton's best film. That joint is so good.
Because Sin, if I remember right, I know you were looking up. I would say because I think the case, like the front cover, it's like him standing there, and then there's like the multiple. Was it the chick or was it him? I forget who it was. They had like the multiples on the outside of.
He's the one. It's him. Yeah. It's multiple versions of him.
Okay.
He cloned himself. It's him and Andy Hey, bro.
Yeah, I never seen that.
Yes, hey, that's Cuddy. The theme song for Bosom Buddies was fire, bro. Like, listen, I don't know where other people were or what they was doing. That joint, fire. Yes, again, like Michael Keaton in Multiplicity, it's so well done. Each one of those versions of him is so distinct. It's so well shot. It's so smart. It's such a smart movie, bro. Like, yeah, we might have to have a movie club chat.
I was about to say you might have to recommend it for movie club.
I gotta figure out where that joint is, cause good lord, that joint is great. Sin.
Yo.
Is the Xbox Series S holding back current gen?
No.
Why not?
I don't see how it's holding back current gen when the new this steady developing Unreal 9 and all Unreal 9,
Unreal
5.
9, my man in the future.
Yeah, I'm out
My
there.
man just hit the PlayStation 9 joint from when PS2 came out. Like,
but no, like they're still working on it on future technology. The PS5 and the Series X is out. I don't see how the Xbox Series S is holding anything back. And they just announced that the PlayStation 4 is going to be around longer now, like the 2025 or something like that.
Yeah, 2025.
Yeah,
bro.
so
no. Jokes? Where are you?
I don't. The Series S is perfectly. It is not holding back anything. Like the power of the Series S trumps all of that of the previous generation consoles that you look at. And I think for me, it's a nice way to get into the newer technology. Like necessarily, maybe you are a PC gamer and that's your thing, but you want a console, but you don't necessarily want to get a PS5 or a Series X. Series S is a perfect way to get in. 4K, you get all the goodness out of it. I don't think it's holding anything back at all. If anything, it's getting you into possibly wanting to get one of the better consoles if you turn into.
I will tell you that joint doesn't really do 4K. Like it's a 1440p machine for sure, but like
3.5K.
Do I hear running from Z's account? What? Oh my goodness! Almost forgot BTS in DC. Yeah. Listen,
there you go. There you go. There you go. We've opened the box.
I was trying to avoid this, Leah. I was given specific instructions to talk about this, and now, Doctor Who, Mr. Mom is not better than Multiplicity. As good as Mr. Mom is, it's not better than Multiplicity. It is a classic though. I can't. I'm so proud of my boys. You didn't raise them, but okay, that's cool. What do you have saved on Hulu, Marcus?
Which one? You got BTS saved on Hulu somewhere?
Right, yeah. Maybe he might. Did you save the BTS at the White House joint on Hulu, Marcus? It's totally possible. Yeah, BTS was in DC today so that they could, have a conversation with Joe Biden about, I will say both my wallet, your wallet, and Nana's most definitely did raise. I mean, maybe I don't know about raise them, paid them, but raise them. You can watch them on PBS. PBS has a dope YouTube channel. I watch that joint a lot. They got this joint called Monstrum. Incredible. Okay, so yeah, BTS came to town so that they could talk to the president about. I mean, it was for AAPI month technically, and there were people who were upset because they're not Asian American, but representation counts, and so we have to.
I'm sorry, that was funny.
That was funny.
I want you to come down here and sing that right now. Come sing that to me right now. Please. J. Robert Dean said, I would buy them talking with Kamala, but, oh, Lord, here it come. Here it come.
I heard it.
Here it come.
Yeah, I knew it was coming.
I'm just going.
This got me paying their rent, paying for trips, diamonds on their neck, Louis Vuitton on their wrists. And here I am all alone, even though they're 15 minutes from me. I'm so
Can I tell y'all that, like, this joint was giving us the business because one of them was playing golf.
Yeah.
And she was like, we got a golf course. They could be right here playing golf. It's a golf course right here. Like, our golf course doesn't even, like, nobody even cuts the grass on our golf course. Like, nobody uses that joint anymore. Like, that joint is defunct.
It's not even funny like that, though. It wasn't funny. It was very serious to
I
me.
know how serious you were about it. It was funny to me.
Okay.
It wasn't a matter like you know.
Thanks.
You want me to just call? I'll call him. Want me to call him? Just tell him to come over.
Yes.
Okay, I'll call him.
Papa said we got space.
We got space for all of them.
Papa said
No, I don't know if we got space for all of them.
Papa said we got
One, pick one, pick a bias, and then that's it.
That's like a life or death choice right there.
It very much was.
Only one.
Oh man,
The rest
yeah.
are
Y'all
cast
heard me
into
talk
the
about
fire.
So anyway, no, the Series S is not holding
God,
not holding back current gen.
the rails.
But
We've gone off the rails.
Yeah, look,
That's what it
rails,
is.
bro.
I love it.
Listen, Leah, if you try to get Awesome Con to get them to like, they cost a lot of money. I don't think Awesome Con,
You know the
even with
traffic
new
Awesome
company,
Con would
I don't know
have?
if they
Oh
can
my
bring them.
gosh.
Yeah, they
We
would.
got a great laugh from Unite. We enjoyed
Yes,
the show.
very much so.
Yeah. So look at this. So people are upset because when they do the sales of the Xbox Series, they are including the Series S with the Series X in total sales.
Mhm.
And so like people are upset because they're counting them in. And so they're like, all right, so like all the Switch joints, we gotta separate all of those. Like we don't it's like so we shouldn't count Switch sales either. Like it's just one of those things, right? It's just I almost think the Series S should be counted separately from the Series X. Some games hitting 540p and some having a hard time getting 1080p. It's a nice device, but it's not apples to apples with XSS and PS5. Just my 2 cents. And I just don't think that makes sense. I don't think that makes sense at all. But it seems to be a thing that is bothering like a lot of people. Like and again, it speaks to that gatekeeping and that kind of being in a camp and planting your feet and just being like, I can't. And so anything you do, any small mistake, any little whatever is just like it's super magnified, right? And I don't know if there's a real solution to behavior like that. I will say that like as long as things like that, as minute as that, like make people so upset that they have to go on Twitter and jump in other people's forums and do things that make people feel bad about their choice in purchase or whatever, we're gonna have a hard time getting people to do things that should be a lot more complicated, if that makes sense, right? Like getting people to not say racist things or to not, you know what I mean? Like it just when it's something as simple like it's okay to play where you want.
Yes.
Like if you I can understand, right? Like the barrier of entry for something like PC gaming or console gaming is very expensive. So a lot of times when you choose a house, when you choose a thing, when you plunk your money down, your very hard earned, you know what I mean? Like when you put those dollars down, you want to feel like you made the right decision about the camp you chose to join to put that money down in. And so there is a part of it that I understand that comes from that kind of a thing, right? Because for a lot of people, look, if you're fortunate enough to be able to say, I have an Xbox Series and I have a PS5 and I have a PC or whatever combination of those things, and I have a Switch for when I travel, or I got me a Steam Deck or, whatever, right? There are so many people, hey, listen, I don't know if we should be promoting these. Nah, it's absolutely cool. That's dope. Thank you for putting that link up, Leah. It's easier for me to understand some of that kind of behavior under that, like when you're in a position where you maybe can't afford to do both, right? To be on one side or the other, or when you have chosen, not unlike choosing a bad sports team, and like once you're in, you can't, like you just have to, like you got to ride it out. I got jerseys and hats, and you know what I'm saying? Like I've been telling people that's my team, and they've been on a losing streak forever, but you got to keep supporting. Like you have to act like, yeah, I know they bad, but like, but at least in that situation, like a lot of times they'll at least admit that they're bad. Leah, Leah, listen. I don't want nobody to go out there and get hurt trying to find them. They was out there acting up in front of the White House, man, making y'all look bad. You know what I mean? Like, Army can't just be acting like that everywhere. That's why they don't go everywhere like they should. Yeah, I mean, look, were you a Nintendo kid?
Yeah.
Sega kid?
Yes.
So you had both?
Yes.
Everybody couldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew households that, like, you had one or you had the other. Right? Yeah. So, like, you're firmly in that camp. When you go to recess, you got to defend the joint you have.
Right.
And you wasn't making that decision. Like, maybe you made that decision because you asked for one, and that's the one your parents got you. But once you did it, hey, listen, Marcus, relax, bro. You lost, dog.
There is no double down here. And, like, Marcus, and even we both have Peacock. What are you, like?
I don't like the way you said that.
You saw my face? Like, come on.
What?
Hey, but you know what, J. Robert things though? But you had chess and you had cards, and some people couldn't do chess. They only had checkers. I think that's the real thing. There are a lot of people who would say, somebody told me a couple of weeks ago, and they will remain nameless because it's not super important, that chess was better than checkers. Because of how much more complicated, how complex it is. And I was like, nah, checkers can be super complex because unlike looking at a chessboard where, yes, it's complicated all the different options that each of the different pieces has, you know what their limits are. We're on a checkerboard. Any of the pieces can do anything any other piece can do. That's just another way of looking at it. Yeah, phrasing. Jokes. Leah, you had an Atari? I had an Atari. Are you a 2600, a 5200, a 2800?
26.
Who cares? 100. Did anybody else? Did you own the terrible ET game that almost killed the video game industry permanently? Chucked all them joints in a landfill. See? J. Robert Deans. I played a game of checkers to a draw with no pieces lost on either side.
Holy cow. That's...
So either both of you were very good or both of you were really bad. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Marcus, you're just upset that you lost. Just stop.
He is.
Just
listen,
stop.
Let him wallow in it.
He can do it. I love it.
Let him wallow in it.
He's not having the best week now. You know, we declared he's a One Piece super fan, and he lost to you in that bet.
No number.
Oh yeah, he is 100% One Piece super fan.
Night Driver though. Classic. I had pole position, Kangaroo, Miss Pac-Man. There's a picture of me playing Miss Pac-Man, boy.
That thing is classic.
My joint. That's the joint that got me. That's the joint that got me hooked. Straight up was Miss Pac-Man. All right, listen, we're gonna wrap this up. Here's how we're gonna do this. Couple of things. One, movie of the month for next month. Snatch. I didn't pick it.
Ooh.
Yes, sir.
I'm finna watch it. When I post it in the movie chat, I'll let you know where you can go and view it. We'll double check it. We'll make sure it's viewable for everybody before we post it there, just in case. Raiders of the Lost Ark. I had Pitfall. That Pac-Man was terrible. That original Pac-Man on the Atari, it was terrible, but I played it a lot until I had Miss Pac-Man, and that changed everything. Pac-Man Fever. Puck-Man Fever. I am not. I am not. Stop it.
He's mad about the One Piece thing because we realized he has watched all episodes up till now. Yes. And he has a favorite character. Dude, you're a fan.
You're a fan.
You don't watch 1,000+ episodes and not be a fan. Deal with it, Marcus. It is what it is.
I can appreciate it. Snatch.
I hate it.
It's my favorite of all time. Does that mean it got replaced with something, Doctor Who? Since the was, did it get replaced? I want you all to know. Marcus having trouble.
He's having problems.
He's having trouble. It's gonna be okay. That's the thing that
you said it was Robin, Marcus.
Is there footage of that? Is there footage of that by any chance?
No, it was a meeting. Nah.
Sounds like you need to record those meetings.
Here it is, yo.
Next time.
Jump on that Beacons link. Check out what we got going on. Jokes appears to be running with this finisher joint, him and Marcus. And if what you're seeing in the chat right now is any indication, if you're not watching the finisher, you are missing out. Because apparently, it's like this. They did some predictions the other day. Mm-hmm. So make sure you follow the Beacons link so you can just get to everything else we have going on. Joe, you have anything you want to say about the finisher?
Yep. Another episode of the finisher is coming tomorrow. Me and Marcus have a conversation about some different controversies that are going on in the wrestling world. If you guys are familiar with the whole Sasha Banks and Naomi leaving out, we have a good conversation about that leads into some other controversies going on. So tune in. That'll be dropping tomorrow.
Yeah. So Leah, the finisher is the wrestling show that Jokes and Marcus are helming. If you want to hear about or talk about wrestling, if you have favorite wrestlers from the past, reach out to Jokes because he's looking to book people to be on the show to talk about
100. Yeah,
for sure. Will what be live? The finisher?
Those are so the finishers are going to be pre-recorded for the main show line, I guess you could say, for it. But we will have like our prediction shows and things that we'll be doing in between. So right now, episode 1 is live on the YouTube channel.
Those will be live. Got it.
No, J. Robert Deans. They're called promos because they go before. They're called promos. You got a promo, and yes, all the vowels are lowercase. Mm-hmm. That works. Yeah. So please make sure you follow us across the board. Look, this weekend it's getting ready to get really real.
Ooh, buddy.
Awesome Con is upon us. We will be there all 3 days. We have our Being Comfortable Being a Geek panel that is on Saturday at 2:00. If you can make it, please do. We would greatly appreciate your love and support. And you showing up. We're going to have some great conversation. Got a few secret people that are going to be joining us. I'll be making some announcements. Stay tuned to our Instagram and our, I've been posting things to TikTok a little bit. It's working out. But stay tuned to our Instagram, Facebook, and our Twitter. We'll be posting that information there. Again, we'll be in room 206. So please feel free to come through and hang out. It would mean the world to us. Thank you, Leah. Appreciate if you do that. And whenever you do come to one of the panels, you always take great pictures. So thank you. Well, you take great pictures anyway. Like, you specifically get great pictures of us doing a panel. So that's awesome. We will have a good time, J. Robert Deans. It's going to be quite great. And yes, that is how we spell promos. J. Robert Dean's next show will be Heroes. And they did formally announce Kidlet as a guest, which is awesome.
That's awesome.
Which is awesome. In factually. So
candy bags.
Listen. Again, I've been posting a little more to TikTok recently. Keep your eyes open. There's some things moving in that direction for us because it's working a little bit. We're gonna keep working that angle. I think it's important. Sin, you have a job to do.
Yes, but before I do that, I'm gonna let y'all know that we started up with some stuff on our anime chat group this week. We posted our what we call the Collector's Pokedex. I see Leah's already posted her thing in there, but we're asking people just to share stuff from their anime collection, share it while you add it to your collection. That's pretty cool. And this Thursday at 8 p.m. in the Discord channel, we're having our first watch party. We will be watching Erased, the first 2 episodes of that, with a brief discussion afterwards about those 2 episodes. So if you're in the Discord channel already, that's what we're doing Thursday, 8 p.m. If you're not, jump in there with us and have a good time with us Thursday, 8 p.m. And with that being said, let's shout out our top tier patrons, starting with Anthony Cunningham, Marcus Houston, Susan Dortch, Tyrone Carson, and Meticulous Skin. Thank you very much. We truly appreciate it.
That is, in fact, what we mean. The top tier folks, we love and appreciate you all. We will have an incredible time at Awesome Con this weekend.
Facts.
I'm really excited about seeing everybody in person and hanging out and spending some time. So expect a recap when we come back next week. Trying to line some things up for Pride Month this coming month. So y'all get ready for that. I think it's going to be some special things. Marcus Sad Faces can't go to Awesome Con yet again. Man, listen. We can talk about why. Leah's got candy bags again.
Hey.
Doctor Who said we need a horror movie for Movie Club. Yeah, let's him pick it.
Don't let me
Doctor Who
pick.
said I'll see y'all Saturday. Perfect. Forward to that. Yeah, let's him pick it. We could do a horror movie for Movie Club. I'm down. Maybe we'll swing something in October. You know what I'm saying? Not that I don't already have something picked out for October, but we can make an adjustment. We'll see what happens. Give me a second. Let me look. Nah, that's not what we have. Well, maybe we had to bump everything. We might actually be able to swing that because technically right now we don't have an October movie yet. So we might be able to swing that. We'll see. If you have ideas, feel free to shoot them. You know what I'm saying? Also, we need to talk to you. I'll talk to you, Doctor Who, because Kristen said she thought we was announcing that you were going to be able to buy the Loading Snacks popcorn pen as an enamel pen. And that doesn't sound like a bad idea. So we need to talk about that. No doubt. Do a Universal classic horror film like Dracula or Frankenstein.
It's just a matter of where we can actually watch them.
Wouldn't be that bad. Yeah, look, Leah, pins? Yeah. Like, I'm looking into it. I'm looking into it because it was brought up. So now we have to see. We'll have to see. Nightmare Before Christmas does not count as a horror movie, Leah. You have pins for Awesome Con too. Even better.
Like that.
Pins and candy. October they should be
TCM, yeah. The Turner Classic movie, yeah, that definitely they probably would be on there.
You're probably right.
Mm-hmm.
That would make it easy. Maybe we could do a couple of them. You know what I mean? Like maybe we'll do a couple of classics and see. Yeah, I don't know what that means. I'm not even gonna get into that. We'll let Sin pick. Right, Sin?
Sure.
Bet.
That part, crazy part is he's probably gonna pick the worst one out of all of them.
No, he won't. No, he won't. Like it might be a bad movie, but he's not gonna pick like the worst one as far as it being scary. Like, no, he won't. Do a Korean zombie movie. Okay.
Look, if I pick a horror movie, it's gonna be something that I can do something along those lines, Leah. Something I've seen that I can get.
I don't mean let him choose it. I mean, give him a list and let him choose from the list. We're not just gonna let you pick.
No, I'm picking.
Because we'll hate it. It had to come from a list. Straight up. But a Korean zombie movie could be, again, we got to be able to access it easily. That's the thing. We want them to be as accessible as possible. All right. Last Train to Busan.
That's a good one.
That's not a bad. I mean, I'm just saying. That could be a joint. We'll see. Look, we're going to wrap this up. Looking forward to seeing y'all this weekend. Forgotten is on Netflix and it's so good. Sure. I'm down. It don't matter to me. Hopefully it's still on Netflix in October. I guess we'll find out. Again, looking forward to seeing y'all this weekend. Greatly appreciate y'all hanging out with us this late into the evening. We'll see y'all hopefully in person in a few days. J. Robert, we'll see you next week right here.
Yes.
Point Back Time, Point Back Channel. With that, we're out. Tools and Lose.